We're out here today. It's time for an update on the Heritage Manufacturing Rough Rider in 22. I've got the 22 long rifle cylinder in here now. It also does come with a 22 WMR or 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire cylinder. I don't have that one out here, so we're just going to be using the 22 long rifle one. I don't shoot that many 22 mags as it is, so I think the best way to start this off with this super tactical is to go ahead and try to hit my silhouette at a distance of 35 yards. So we'll give that a go here. We hit, and the dog's going apeshit. Ooh, missed one there. I think that's it. Yep. In true single action fashion, you got to eject your empties. Screw it, let's do another 6 real quick. I'll let you guys see how this loading process is. One at a time. No speed reload here. There's one. There's two. And I'm just coming out of my pocket with them. I've got a little baggie on the table. I just threw some in my pocket so it'd be a little easier here. It's not the fastest thing in the world to reload, but man is it fun. Alright, let's see if I can hit my little swinger. That should be a little bit more challenging. Yeah, of course it is, as I missed the first one there. Missed two. I can't even tell where I'm hitting. Go back up top. Alright, so as you guys can tell, there's a lot of fun to be had with a gun like this. I've had it for a little while now, we're clear. Let's talk about my experiences. So I've had this gun now for a couple years. It has held up well, all things being considered. It's just a phenomenal gun to shoot. It is clear, rather than show you every single chamber in the cylinder. Just take my word for it, just this once, I promise. I've put a lot of rounds through it. Now growing up, my dad had one of these, and we shot it quite a bit as well. So I'm not a stranger to this platform. I've shot it quite a bit. And it's just a phenomenal gun. It's a really enjoyable gun to shoot. Obviously the recoil is not bad. It's fairly heavy because of the metal construction, so even 22 Magnum cartridges don't really recoil a lot. There's varying barrel lengths that you can get on these Rough Riders. This one is a 6.5 inch barrel, so it's pretty long, but there's no particular reason I went with this one. This is what was in stock at the gun store when I got it, so this is what I picked up. If you were going to use this for any kind of utilitarian purpose, maybe pest control or just a yard work gun for snakes and such, then I could see the appeal of something with a little bit shorter barrel, but this one works just fine. As far as just a fun plinking gun, it does very well at that. The reliability's been great. I think I've had one misfire, and I shoot bulk 22 ammo through it, so that very well could have been the ammunition and not the gun itself. I think the biggest thing here that's going to make this something that you might want to pick up is going to be the price. Under $200 all day long, depending on which one you get, which grips, which barrel length, and whether you get it with the Magnum cylinder or just the 22 long rifle cylinder. So as far as an affordable gun to shoot with, this is absolutely one of those. I want to turn the camera around real quick and I want you guys to look at this thing close up. One of the neat things here is that it actually has a manual safety right there to the left side of the hammer. So when you cock this, if you bring the safety down to the fire position, you can see that bar turns flat in there. Hopefully you can see it. Otherwise, what it does is it keeps the hammer off the firing pin. If you go ahead and let it down, then obviously it can make contact with the firing pin. So that's pretty neat, kind of unsightly for revolver fans, obviously, looking at it from the rear here. But it is, you know, it's pretty neat. Traditional single action, flip open your loading gate and then go ahead and half cock the hammer, at which point your cylinder will rotate freely. So put your cartridges in, and then when you're done, You have a little ejector rod here, and it just comes right out like that. And you can punch your empties out and then put your new ones in. So a very neat gun, especially for the price. Inevitably, when I review a gun, I'll have somebody reach out to me, sometimes on Facebook, sometimes on YouTube, or by email, and ask my thoughts about that gun for defense. Now, I realize that the price point of the Rough Rider is going to make it an attractive option, specifically if your options are limited as far as guns and finances go, and that's not a judgment call on me. I will have to say, though, while this gun is lethal, I don't think that a single action 6-shot 22 long rifle or 22 Magnum is really the best bet. The sights on here are traditional single action revolver sights. You have a blade here, a notch here. You cannot use that notch until the hammer is cocked, and then, only then, can you try to line the blade up between that rear notch. Sight pictures is pretty rough. It's pretty rudimentary, and it's you know, there's no adjustment. So if the sights are off, on the Rough Rider Facebook group, Rough Rider owner Facebook group, some of the people do is they file this. You can put some nail polish back here, but at the end of the day, guys, this is not really designed for defensive use. There's a lot better options. You have to spend a little bit more money, but there are better options out there. Now, as far as a plinking or varmint gun, if you shoot it well, it's going to work good at either one of those. Anytime your life's not in danger, per se, then I think this will be just fine. So I actually used it to dispatch some critters that were tearing up the insulation in my other house that I had trapped, and it worked good for that. So 22 long rifle does what 22 long rifle does. With some snake shot rounds in it, it might be effective on snakes. I haven't used it in that capacity. I have some 22 snake shot in there, or rat shot, whatever you want to call it. They're made by CCI, nickel plated case, with a little blue plastic cap where the nose of the bullet would be, actually. So instead of the lead at the end, there's a blue plastic cap with a bunch of tiny little pellets in it. It patterns, it spreads out quick. It's coming out of a rifle barrel, so anything further than, 10 feet, I wouldn't count on it. So all that being said, guys, I just want to give you an update. I've got close to 2,000 rounds through this gun, which is a lot of rounds, with doing the load one at a time, eject one at a time. It's a lot of shooting for a gun like this, but it's held up well. I think that if you were in the market for a 22 plinking revolver, this is worth checking out. Now, Ruger did come out with the Wrangler, so there is that, and it's going to be similar price point, so whatever you want to do, but I can speak to this one. I can't really speak to the Wrangler yet. So there we go, guys. Stay safe, keep shooting. I'll see you next time.